Good evening. Welcome to North West Tonight with Annabelle Tiffin. Our top story. Concerns over the government's welfare reforms. Steph says the cuts will make her even more ill. But the government says the plans will help more people back into work. Also tonight, shock, dismay and even some hope. Greater Manchester's Iranian community reacts after a week of airstrikes between their homeland and Israel. Enjoying each other's company. The nursing home saying, come and meet your neighbours.
I love it. I love it. This is my boy.
Ahead of Dave Day 2, we get a preview of an exhibition in Barrow celebrating the hairy biker's life.
One of our favourite and best kept secrets is actually Dave Meyer's last owned bike. So beautiful Royal Enfield.
2 weeks to the big reunion. We're with the Oasis superfans, snapping up the merch in Manchester.
And it's been another hot day here in the northwest. We reached 29 degrees and it's all talk of thunderstorms for tomorrow. Join me at the end of the programme. I'll give you the full forecast.
People with disabilities in the northwest say proposed cuts to welfare could leave them isolated and worsen their conditions. Ministers say their plans will help more people back into work and save £5 billion by 2030. Well, last night a government whip resigned over the issue ahead of a vote in Parliament next month. Kevin Fitzpatrick reports.
Steph from Manchester has a genetic condition that leaves her constantly fatigued and needing to use a mobility scooter. She feels there's no prospect of her working currently, but is worried proposed new assessments would find that she can.
Basically, I'm always exhausted. I often find it really difficult to think. I'm in pain all the time. And then if I do too much, I get all sorts of other illness symptoms. So like my lymph glands swell up, I start feeling like I'm coming down with the flu, that kind of thing.
She's part of a disabled community campaigning against government plans to tighten the criteria people have to meet in order to get personal independence payments or PIPs and other benefits. Kevin and Alison, who are both blind, live in Middleton and use their PIP money to pay for taxis as they can't use public transport. They think they'll also lose out.
We don't know exactly what they are trying to do. We know they want to reduce it. Whether they want to completely take it off us, or will it be only given to certain people for certain things? There we go.
We're not given information about it. They said they're going to reduce it, but what?
The government says people with the more severe health conditions won't be reassessed and could receive increased income, while a new scheme giving disabled people the right to try employment without the risk of losing their benefits will be introduced. But many MPs, including more than 100 Labour, have raised concerns.
While I fully support the stance the government is taking around people who want to get back to work and who want to work should be fully supported in doing so, I completely agree with that stance. I do feel that we should absolutely be helping and supporting those people who definitely need it and who do need it the most.
The government says the changes will ensure that those who can work do, and it insists those with the more severe disabilities are protected. But opponents claim it will cause harm to many affected.
By taking money away from us and by telling us that we have to go to the job centre and by giving us no certainty over what we're going to be allowed to do with our lives, that's just going to make us far more ill, which is going to be far more costly in the long run.
Kevin Fitzpatrick, BBC North West Tonight.
Now, after a week where bombs and missiles have been falling in both Iran and Israel, there's said to be shock and dismay among the 14,500 Iranians in the northwest. It's also meant a very worrying time for those in this region with family in Israel, as Phil McCann reports.
The Iranian capital, Tehran, this week. Terrifying, of course, for anyone with family there. Airstrikes coming from Israel, in an effort, the Israelis say, to stop Iran developing nuclear weapons. It's led thousands in the city to flee, including Parvin's 95-year-old mum. She's been desperately trying to get through to family. Parvin's mum had a fall when she was trying to escape to the countryside. She ended up in hospital. Parvin knows she's safe, but she hasn't been able to speak to her since.
When they contact us, I felt like I melted in the ground, not because of she's dying, because everybody dying, because of the hopelessness.
Parvin's been living in Manchester for the last 24 years. She set up a charity in Longsight along with Roxana, who moved from Iran when she was 2. They provide counselling and mental health services to people from migrant communities across Greater Manchester.
People have been just in tears. We came on Tuesday morning and there were 4 people outside crying their eyes out. They were just turned up. They said, we need to go somewhere and just share our shock and dismay about what's happening. I have had a knot in my chest since all of this started, and it hasn't gone away.
A large number of people, including many Christians, fled Iran after the country's revolution in 1979, worried about being targeted by the Iranian regime.
I'm worried about my family. I lost the contact for a few days, and I'm worried sick.
This church in Heaton Moor in Stockport holds services for the Iranian community, which is divided, with some hoping for change.
Many people believe that's a chance for changing the political power. We have another group who believe this is a war against the people of Iran.
And of course, among the 33,000-strong Jewish population in the northwest, there's huge worry about the reprisal attacks from Iran on Israel.
Of us in the Manchester Jewish community have family and friends in Israel. I, for one, have an 85-year-old mother who lives in Jerusalem, who has not really slept properly now for 3 or 4 days. She's being woken up in the middle of the night, having to go down 3 flights to a bomb shelter.
There have been efforts to mediate in the crisis today, but those Iranians and Israelis here can only watch on, powerless. Phil McCann, BBC North West Tonight, Manchester.
Well, next, let's get a roundup of some of the day's other news now. And the teenager who fatally stabbed 12-year-old Ava White in Liverpool city centre can be named for the first time. Now he's turned 18. Harry Gilbertson was 14 when he carried out the attack in 2021 and was sentenced to a minimum of 13 years for her murder. A consultation's been launched on reducing access to fertility treatment across large parts of Greater Manchester. Currently, the number of IVF cycles women under 40 are entitled to varies between 1 and 3. The new proposals would see a reduction to see only 1 cycle across the city region. 3 train operators in the northwest have agreed to automatically accept each other's tickets in the event of cancellations. From Sunday, passengers on Northern, TransPennine Express and East Midlands trains will be able to use their ticket for a similar journey on the other services if their own train is cancelled. A £2 million youth and community centre in Preston has opened after being designed by local young people. The brand new Foxton Centre in the Avenham district was funded by the Department for Culture, Media and Sport after a successful bid in 2022. Now, care homes across the region are opening their doors to the public this week so that people can see firsthand how residents live. Newlands Care Home in Stockport is one of them. It hosts baby and toddler groups there and says it's been a huge success in bringing people of all generations together. Kelly Foran has been to find out more.
Bunting, babies and a large dose of bubbles. The recipe for a joyful Friday for these care home residents.
I can't tell you how much I enjoy it. I love it. You know, they're so entertaining, the children. It really is. It warms my heart.
Oh, it's lovely. Oh, it's lovely. I love to see the children. Yeah. They're individual, aren't they? You know, they have their own way of everything. They're lovely.
This session happens every week, but 560 care homes across the northwest are opening their doors until the end of this weekend for people who live locally to come in and see what happens.
It brings so much joy. They love a Friday morning. Honestly, it's like the highlight of the week for them.
If you fill a room with people aged from 6 months old to 107, mix in a bit of singing, the result is a lot of smiles.
I love it. I love it. This is my boy. This is my boy.
It's definitely improved your socialisation as well. he's definitely come out of his shell coming here. It's lovely to see.
And we couldn't meet such a happy 107-year-old and not ask for some life advice.
Do you have any words of wisdom for the mums here?
Words of wisdom. My daughter says nothing ever worries Mum. It doesn't matter what it is, nothing worries Mum.
No stress then?
Hey?
No stress?
No, never.
Worry less and sing. Noted. This week is a chance for residents and babies to meet new people, and it's clear to see that everyone gets something out of it. Kelly Foran, BBC North West Tonight, Manchester.
Oh, it's a great idea, isn't it? Now, more than 1,000 walkers on the Isle of Man are gearing up for an annual gruelling challenge to walk 85 miles through the island's 17 parishes in 24 hours. The Parish Walk starts in Douglas tomorrow morning and includes a range of participants from complete novices to veterans and people raising money. Alex Blake has been along too.
Putting one foot in front of the other. Sounds simple, but could you do that for 85 miles in just 24 hours? Well, more than 1,000 people on the Isle of Man are about to give it a go. The annual race has been in its modern guise for 65 years, and for many here, it is the ultimate challenge.
When you come out on Parish Walk Day, the cheering, the crowds, the ambience, there's a certain spirit that pervades on Parish Walk Day that I do believe is unique. And that's why we have so many people who come back year after year, never to win the Parish Walk, but they wish to participate.
And Andrew Titley has done just that, not once, not twice, but 22 times, and completed it every single time.
People who I'd never met were patting me on the back saying congratulations and shaking your hand, and it was like, I don't even know these people, how do they know that I did that event? And it was just the community just get together for the whole event.
While some are not in it to win it, the elite few at the front are immensely proud to top the leaderboard.
The first time I did it and I went to Peel, I thought, gosh, I don't know how people finish it. So then fast forward years later to have my name on the trophy twice, it's really surreal, and it's something I feel incredibly lucky to have been able to achieve.
And some people are even taking steps to make the challenge harder.
This is traditional firefighting compartment kit. I'm doing it for the Firefighters Charity and the Great North Air Ambulance. They're two charities that are obviously quite important, firstly to me as a firefighter, but also to the island as a whole.
Oh, and it's Nick's first time taking part.
I've definitely gone in at the deep end with this, I would say. I'm looking to, ideally, travel between, hopefully, Peel and maybe Ballaugh at the furthest, which will be about 30 to 40 miles. Fingers crossed for the day.
More than 1,100 people are to set off from the start line at the NSC at 8 o'clock in the morning. And if you didn't sign up on time, well, there's always next year. Alex Blake, BBC North West Tonight, Douglas.
Yeah, hopefully they'll have good weather as well. Now, it is the second annual Dave Day in Barrow-in-Furness this weekend, an event dedicated to the town's famous son and hairy biker, Dave Myers. Dave died last year at the age of 66 after he was diagnosed with cancer. The first Dave Day last year attracted thousands of bikers joining a ride from London to Barrow in his memory. This year, there's a very special exhibition in his honour. Phil Chapman went to the launch last night.
Hi, I'm Lily Myers. I want to welcome you all to this exhibition.
Before the crowds and bikers arrived to honour Dave over the weekend, this exhibition has been lovingly created to reflect a local lad's life well lived. The Dock Museum in Barrow has even been renamed the Dave Museum for the weekend and filled with objects donated by his widow Lily, with Dave's final bike as the centrepiece.
One of our favourite and best kept secrets is actually Dave Myers' last owned bike. So beautiful Royal Enfield. He called it Gladys, and we're really excited because this will now be a permanent part of the Dock Museum collection.
There's also the Dave Myers Memory Booth, where people can sit astride a wooden classic bike replica to record their thoughts and memories about the man himself.
Well, my memory of Dave, I only met him the once while filming with him at a big foodie event in Yorkshire a few years ago. And even though he was dashing to another hairy biker's appearance, He made it feel as if he had all the time in the world to stop and chat.
When I was told I was ill, I never thought I'd ride a motorcycle again.
There's a spirit of Dave that I've always loved.
And we're doing it!
Dave died last February after his battle with cancer, and this weekend a group of local footballers will be fundraising partly for the Cancer Care North West charity by taking on a group of bikers called Dave's Gold Stars, many of them among the tens of thousands of bikers travelling up tomorrow.
We know that Dave died of cancer, and a few of our people at the squad have been touched by cancer in their lives, either through himself or through the family, so it's an honour to sort of help support a great charity. So on Sunday it's going to be at Holker Street in Barrow, at Barrow AFC at 12 o'clock kick-off.
We also have in the exhibition Dave Meyer's dancing shoes from Strictly, and it was a really enjoyable time for him, though he wasn't a natural dancer.
And away from the glitz of the ballroom, Dave's childhood friends Graham and Pete waltzed in to tell us all about their old pal.
They sat down next to him. It's the Dave we all know and love. It was we hit it off, had a great rapport, and we both had a shared love for art. As Dave was cooking as well.
I suppose I was, in a way, Dave's first cooking partner, because we used to throw together recipes, charge people 30p for a plate full of whatever we've cooked.
And the exhibits and many stories about Dave's amazing life will continue long after Dave Weekend, with the free exhibition continuing until October. Phil Chapman, BBC North West Tonight, at the Dave Museum.
Thank you for visiting.
Oh, it doesn't feel like a year, does it, since he died. We're going to move on to sport now. Premier League champions look like they're moving in on another big transfer, Ian?
Yeah, Liverpool, like most of their summer signings, this one seems to have taken a while to get done. But the club has now agreed a deal with Bournemouth to sign left-back Milos Kerkez. The 21-year-old Hungary international played all 38 Premier League games last season as Bournemouth finished 9th. Elsewhere, it's widely reported that Marcus Rashford will be left out of Manchester United's pre-season tour of the United States. Also apparently out, Alejandro Garnacho, Anthony and this man, Jadon Sancho, has all looked destined for moves away. Well, it was a terrible season for United, as we all know, but the former Bruno Fernandes was again impressive, so much so that he's today made the shortlist for PFA Player of the Year. Also shortlisted is Liverpool's Mo Salah, who's already won the Football Writers Award, and his teammate Alexis McAllister. The ceremony takes place in Manchester in August. Couple of big games in Super League tonight. St Helens host Leeds Rhinos, while second place Wigan Warriors, who narrowly beat struggling Huddersfield Giants last weekend, are away at Wakefield Trinity. Both our sides' matches get underway at 8 o'clock. Elsewhere in the wide world of sports, Lancashire Lightning are in T20 blast action tonight at Derbyshire Falcons. That match gets underway at 7 o'clock. This time last week, Lightning won by 7 wickets at Worcestershire Rapids. Now, we've had a fair share of world champion boxers from this region, but somehow Chorley's Jack Catterall hasn't yet joined that illustrious list. As he bids to get back into world title contention, the 31-year-old has moved up from light welterweight to take on undefeated welterweight Harlem Eubank, nephew and cousin of Chris at Manchester's AO Arena next month. The victory over Regis Prograis last October was Jack Catterall's third headline win in a year. But in February came a major blow to his world title ambitions with defeat to Arnold Barbosa Jr. in Manchester.
You know what, it's frustrating and you kick yourself, but ultimately it's part of my journey, part of boxing. You reflect, you work on things that you probably didn't do so well in the fight. And I'm back, I'm very grateful to be here again, headlining in Manchester. It's exciting and it's a fight that I'm really excited for. I can get my teeth into, a huge domestic fight, so all is good.
All wasn't good when Jack suffered a highly controversial split decision loss to Josh Taylor in 2022. He and many observers still believe he was robbed of a first world title.
Are you more and more confident as the years go by that you're getting closer to that, even with the odd obstacle in the way?
Yeah, of course. I feel like I'm coming into my peak years now. This is a big fight. I've got to remain focused. I've got a big job to do, and I want to put on a statement on July the 5th. And I believe in doing that, that will again put me that one step closer to the fights that I dream of, and which is a world title fight.
His opponent, Harlem Eubank, is being backed by his uncle Chris and cousin Chris Jr.
Father and son reunited.
The pair came together recently as Junior beat Connor Benn, son of Senior's old rival Nigel Benn.
How influential has he been on your career so far, on your life in general?
Very influential. He is, you know, British boxing royalty, and not only in Britain, across the world as well. He has made a huge mark on the sport.
Chris Eubank, controversial, flamboyant holder of the World Boxing Organisation's world title, made a unique entrance to Old Trafford.
In the 90s, Chris Eubank Sr. retained his super middleweight title 4 times in Manchester.
You've come across as a sportsman and a showman. Is that fair comment?
That is a good question. Boxing's all about hype, isn't it? It's all about characters, and I suppose there is no bigger character to have in your corner than Chris Eubank Sr.
Yeah, it's a legacy. It's in our blood. Myself, I found boxing late. You know, I started boxing at 18, so it's great to have someone like my uncle that's kind of set the stage as inspiration and motivation to go out there and, you know, embrace it and live up to the expectation.
An expectation is something Jack Catterall knows all about.
It's a big step for Harlem. I'm not delusional. A victory against me will put him in a great position to go and fight for a world title. Likewise for me, a great victory in July will put me again in a position to go and fight for a world title.
We'll find out in just over a fortnight's time.
We sure will, and we'll come back to that in a couple of weeks' time. Finally from me, Manchester Thunder are taking on London Mavericks in their Netball Super League semi-final at Bellevue. You might recall we were at their recent game against London Pulse. If they win tonight's minor semi, they'll go into the preliminary final, win that, and they're into the grand final at London's O2 Arena on Sunday, July the 6th, Annabelle. And I'm just looking at my portable telephone.
Oh, yes.
That's a mobile phone. And it seems that Manchester Thunder are winning by 24 points to 13. We can't show it because it's live on another channel.
Yeah, so don't turn over to watch it just yet.
Only after this programme.
Yeah, at 7
everyone.
o'clock. Thank you. Ian, are you an Oasis fan?
Love them. I think the world peaks between 1994 and 1997, the peak Britpop years.
Yeah, for you to say.
I prefer Blur, I'll be honest.
Oh, really?
But they had a few good tunes, these lot.
Yeah, they didn't do too badly, did they, really?
No, not at all.
No. Thank you for that.
Thanks.
Yeah, obviously, huge amounts of fans, and it's the tour many thought would never happen. In a matter of weeks, Oasis will be playing to sell-out crowds around the world with 5 homecoming gigs in Heaton Park in Manchester. Cardiff, though, is the first gig. But the first of 5 merchandise stores opened today in Manchester, and Anna Jameson's been taking a look.
The excitement is palpable. Oasis on stage together once more. This promotional video dropped last night. And this morning, fans have been queuing at an official pop-up store in Spinningfields in Manchester.
I walked in here before, every hair stood up on my arms.
You're joking?
Yeah.
Have you got tickets to see them?
I'm going to all of them, actually.
All of them?
I'm going to Cardiff, I'm going to Heaton Park. I live near Heaton Park. I've got some friends camping out in my back garden to save on hotels. I'm going to Edinburgh, and I'm also going to London.
How much money have you spent on this day?
We'll say nothing about that.
Oasis last played in Manchester back in 2009 when the infamous generator broke in Heaton Park.
This is a free gig from now on. You'll be getting your money back.
Here's former North West Tonight reporter Stuart Flinders before the Main Road concert in 1996. He approaches Liam outside their childhood home in Burnage.
Liam, are you looking forward to the concert?
No, I'm a What do you reckon? Have you got any proper questions to ask me?
What's it going to be like?
It's going to be
I was 12 back in 96 at Main Road, so I get to relive it all again. Going on the first night, taking our little boy who's 6 years old. We took him to Liam at the Co-op last year and he absolutely loved it.
Kids now, they just love it, don't they?
Absolutely, yeah. Not that he had a choice, like, but...
There's all the merch you can think of. T-shirts, vinyl, even baby grows.
Best granddad ever, that's all I can say.
And it wouldn't be an Oasis merchandise store without the obligatory bucket hat, which can make just about anybody feel like Liam Gallagher himself.
All right, I'll Kev.
Perhaps
though, no one is quite as excited as Marie.
The traffic lights, but only 1 degree.
She travelled all the way from Romania to be here.
Honestly, this is the best day ever.
And with just 2 weeks before their tour kicks off in Cardiff, the countdown is on. Anna Jameson, BBC North West Tonight in Manchester.
It is very exciting. If you're lucky to have got tickets, I actually did see them in '96, I have to say, and they were brilliant. Didn't get tickets this time, sadly. Now, it has been a lovely day. It is a bit muggy now, but we still sent Kay out. Is it muggy? There's a bit of breeze there, is there?
Bit of a breeze, which is helping the muggy feel. My mother would say it's very close. It certainly is, and it's going to stay that way for half of the weekend, Annabelle. It's a tale of two halves, really. Tomorrow, it is going to be another hot day for some, not all. It will feel muggy, humidity is high, and then as we go through into Sunday, then the breeze will be coming more westerly, and we'll have a much cooler feeling, breezy day all in all. But like you said, not this evening. And in fact, this upper level cloud that we've got at the minute is continuing to shift to the northeast. So some will start to see some lovely spells of late evening sunshine. It stays dry and it's really nice and pleasant out and about, but it is going to lead to an uncomfortable night's sleep, I think, with temperatures dropping not much lower than about 15 to 17 degrees. Now, tomorrow morning, the best of the weather will be first thing. You'll see some lovely spells of sunshine. It'll be a warm start, but then showers start to pep up. You'll start to see more in the way of cloud bubbling, and then that shower risk becomes more as we head late afternoon and towards the evening. We've got a yellow warning in force to cater for that. It's valid from 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Now, the showers, which means not everyone will see them, but where you do, they're likely to be heavy and thundery in nature. Now, on the Isle of Man, it'll be about 19 degrees. Inland, again, we get to about 29 degrees. That does mean that we will have had a heat wave, but that is going to change on Sunday. You can see on the pressure chart, the isobar's a bit more tightly squeezed, so it's going to be a breezier day on Sunday, and we're exposed to a westerly airflow, so we're going to see some outbreaks of rain, and it will be cooler as well. So we start Sunday off with a fair bit of cloud out and about, 1 or 2 showers. Now, there will be a good deal of Sunday where it will actually be dry, but we do get more showers pushing in as we head through the afternoon towards the evening time, and it'll be cooler. Temperatures hover between about 17 and 21 degrees. And that westerly breeze then, Annabelle, is going to stay with us as we head through next week, but towards the back end of next week, temperatures will start to pick up once again. And that's your forecast.
Kay, thank you very much. So it won't be quite as close, thankfully. And that's it. Eunice is here with your updated hub.